they've already hired all their directors. Did you say directing? Yeah, they've hired all their directors. You know, it's really hard to get a television job directing because they don't like to hire people who haven't directed television. So it's kind of a catch-22 in that regard. You know, even like movie guys who I suggested a couple of really great film directors, and they got turned down because they hadn't done TV. So yeah, if they're not going to get hired, I certainly aren't going to get hired.
But it's two different beasts, right?
Very different, yeah. You're on a much tighter schedule, and you're coming in to a show that's already been established. So it's a different beast. You're absolutely right.
So in season 2, Joe and Jim are going to be working together. Are they going to get along? Is it going to be one of those things where they're trying to alpha dog each other, or?
You mean Holden and Miller?
Yeah.
They're working together. I wouldn't really call it working together. They're kind of like have competing viewpoints on what different things to do, and sometimes Miller's right and sometimes Holden's right, and they have very different views about reality, the situation, and what should be done about it. You know, I think Holden's a lot more idealistic and younger in a way than Miller. And Miller's a lot more jaded. He really understands sort of the human nature of things, and so he's there to kind of ground those guys. Sometimes you just gotta kill somebody.
And was it difficult for you to commit to a television series given film?
Well, it's always a decision. I try to do stuff that has a limited, for me, a limited run. And that leaves me open to do other stuff. I don't want to commit myself to doing 22 episodes of television a year. But that's just me. It just doesn't work for who I am. It's not that I don't love... television's got some of the best stuff going now. It's a totally different landscape, right? You used to... Television was when you do TV, when you just did some like throwaway kind of entertainment, light, fluffy crap. And then movies was where you really got to dig in and really do some good, grounded, dramatic work. And now it's flipped. Now you do a movie when you want to do some ungrounded, fluffy, sort of, circus show, roller coaster ride kind of crap. And it's television you turn to really dig into characters and go deep and explore parts of life that are challenging and different, non-traditional. So we're starting to really see this explode. It's wonderful, The medium is still pretty fast. We shoot rather quickly, but the production values are skyrocketing. And the talent that's coming on board is, that's where everybody wants to be now. All the great writers have something going in television. And that, for an artist right now, is just a fantastic time. It really is another golden age of whatever you want to call it, streaming. I don't know, it's not TV, that's for sure. HBO kind of kicked the whole thing off, right? With this slogan, it's not television, it's HBO. Well, it's not television. I don't really know what you'd call it. It's sort of this new digital sort of medium, a platform of streaming and on demand and binge watching and all that stuff. So it's kind of nice. It's new. It's newish. But we're starting to see that it's sinking in. Once Netflix brought out that show and it did so well. The House of Cards show with Kevin Spacey. Once that came out, it just changed the game overnight. People were waiting for it to happen. They were like, yeah, let's see how it does, and they were poised to make the transition. And then once that took off, and they put all the episodes on television at once, and you could watch them all. That's it. That was the death knell of traditional television. Television's dead, just doesn't know it's dead yet. It's a new world.
Do you binge watch television? Is there a show that you?
I personally don't watch TV. No. I got too many movies that I need to watch. I'm a big fan of the older films. You know, a lot of film history.
Yeah, sorry about that.
And to tell you the truth, I don't have time to dig into the television. I hear 400 new shows came out over the past year or something. I don't have any time for that. I hear it's great, you know, and I'll try to catch an episode or this or that because, you know, the writing is terrific. But personally, for me, my own taste, I like to read books and I like to watch classic movies. So I'll turn on Turner Classic Movies and watch pretty much anything that's rolling on that. And then reading.
You've done genre before in the past, of course, in films, and then you did film. So why'd you come back to genre again? What is it about this that you feel comfortable about?
I don't know.
Science fiction and genre.
Yeah, I've always been. Well, I have a graphic novel company called Raw Studios, and we do science fiction graphic novels. We've done 2, and I think we're working on 1 more. And we're also doing a gothic horror comic too. We're working on, and so genre's always been a part of my life. I grew up loving all genres, whether it's Western or science fiction or horror. I'm a big genre fan. You know, I love the traditions. I love the different interpretations, and it's just a nice way to sort of classify or categorize different styles of telling stories. So I'm always on the lookout for a good genre. It's hard to find, you know. And when you find it, I tend to, you know, try to make the most of it. Yeah, this is really smart, well thought out, good genre. So for me, it's a perfect fit. You know, I love this kind.
Thank you.
One question.
Okay. Miller started out the first season, you know, really cynical and just gonna get my job done and do it and be done with it. And then the missing girl case happened, and it really sort of put a spark in him to maybe go a little extra mile on everything. Is that going to continue in the new season? Is he still going to try to discover the mystery of what happened to her happened?
Yeah, I think Julie really struck a chord in Miller. You know, here Miller's very much the opposite of Julie Mao. Miller is a survivor. He takes care of himself first and then lets everybody else do their own thing. And he's very Darwinian, you know, as Miller. And yet Julie Mao is someone who has everything, is in the upper, you know, stratosphere of our planetary culture. She's up there in the top 0.5%. And she throws all that away to dedicate her life to helping people that she doesn't know, and it's not even her race. You know, she's not a belter. And he's become fascinated with who is that person? Why would she do that? What does she get out of that? You know, there must be, and it turns him around. You know, it really throws a wrench into his plans. You know, he really had a good system worked out where he could manipulate the system to my advantage. And Julie Mao threw a wrench in that, and he's just still trying to work out how to either get that out or have to rejigger his whole worldview to accommodate this woman and who she represented to him. So I love it. I love this story. I love the guy. I love Miller.